Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is basically going to be about the best hostels I've ever stayed at and the worst ones I've ever stayed at. As you know, well, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Dayanita. I'm on exchange in the Netherlands, so I've been traveling for the past 5 months, almost 6 months, and I've stayed at a lot of hostels in my time here. So I've experienced quite a bit. So I thought I would share the best ones that I've stayed at in the best cities and then tell you guys a very sad story of a terrible hostel that I had. So let's get into it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 hostels that I would highly recommend. One that is just like whatever, and then one that was just terrible and you should stay away from. Okay, so the first one that I would really recommend is in Barcelona. It's called Primavera Hostel. It was literally the best hostel I have ever seen. It was so clean. Everyone was super friendly. They offered a free dinner on Thursday nights, I believe. It was super close to La Sagrada Familia. It's literally a 7-minute walk. Everything else was just walking distance. There's a Cien Montaditos, which is a really good and cheap place to get tapas in Spain. And it was just such a good location. Everything was there. Everything was super clean. You had private bathrooms as well, so you can literally lock the door and no one is gonna come in. And the showers were very clean. They offered towels. The rooms were super clean, very well decorated as well. And it was so nice that actual families stayed there, and that was really weird to me because I've never seen a kid in a hostel, but they have their own private rooms. So yeah, I would really recommend this hostel, Primavera Hostel. I'll put it in the description box. So good. I loved that hostel. If I'm ever back in Barcelona, I'm definitely going there. And it was only about 13 euros a night, I believe. So I was just blown away by this place and its service. So nice. The second one is in Stockholm. It's called City Backpackers. It was not as cheap. I think this one was about $24 a night, but it was during the Christmas week. So the good thing about this place was they had a no shoes policy, indoors of course. So since it had been snowing, everyone had wet shoes, and that was cool that they wouldn't let you in with your shoes because then the floors are always dry and it stays clean a lot more. The rooms were very clean as well, and they offer free pasta noodles, so all you have to do is buy your own sauce and you have food for the rest of the time that you're there. It was super close to Gamlistan and this really good Mexican food place called La Neta. So good. I would recommend that. And what else? Oh, they had free coffee after 11 a.m. and I was there with my friend Casey. Her and I love coffee. And yeah, so we basically were drinking coffee like it was holy water. That was really nice. And they had free ginger snaps as well. And what else about it? It was just a really cute place. It made you feel at home. Ooh, Abbey Court Hostel. That was the first hostel I ever stayed at in my entire life. My first time that I stayed at a hostel was in, I think, summer of 2017. And then I went to Ireland again this year and I stayed there as well. So this one is in Dublin. And it's right in the center of Dublin, literally right in the heart of it. It takes about 40 minutes to get there from the airport, but there is a bus that will take you straight there, so it's super easy to get to. And then you are basically across the street from Temple Bar and all the other pubs, so you're super close to the nightlife. And if you want to stay out all night, you can just walk back to your hostel. Super good location. It's a really big hostel. It's really confusing on the inside. It has like, it's just so cool on the inside. It's very different from any other hostel I've ever stayed at. They have a hammock room, which is super cool to take a nap in. And that one was also 13 euros a night. So I thought that was amazing. And it comes with free breakfast as well. And it has a kitchen if you want to cook. And pretty good service. And they have donuts right next door. So giving it a 10. This was the last hostel I will be staying at for my time on exchange, and it was in Brussels. It was called 2G04 Quality Hostel City Center. So what I liked about this one was just how clean it was. That's a really big thing for me. If my home is not clean, I go crazy. And especially when you're around a bunch of strangers, it's just kind of gross when they don't keep it clean. But the bathrooms were really clean. The showers were clean, the rooms were clean, the living area was clean. They had free breakfast, free coffee. It was close to the city center. Obviously, it's in the name. But yeah, it was pretty close to the city center. Really close to really good Belgian waffles. And the service was pretty good. At one point, I only stayed there for one night. So the one day that I was there, I left my wallet on the couch. We love this girl. And I was freaking out. I ran back to the hostel when I realized that it was missing, and luckily the receptionist had seen it, so she picked it up and everything was still in there. So thank you so much, because I had so much money in my wallet and I was ready to cry. Yeah, so I mean, when I'm looking at a good hostel, to evaluate a good hostel, I look at cleanliness, the service, the smells, and if they include breakfast. So all of these did include breakfast except for the one in Stockholm, but they had free coffee and free pasta. So all of them, honestly, from my perspective, were really good hostels, and they were all very centrally located. So I will definitely list them all in the description box so that you guys can give them a look, because they're good hostels and they're pretty cheap as well. I think the Brussels one was also about $24, $25, but I only stayed there for one night, so I didn't really care. This other one, it's not good nor bad. It's in Lagos, Portugal, and I think the only problem that I had with this hostel, I mean, it was summer, so I kind of understand, but it was just so hot in there. It was really hot, and it just felt musty, and like, you know, you just get that feeling when there's just too many people around and it's hot. That's the feeling that I had there, so I hated that. But I mean, it's summer and I guess they don't know AC out there, I don't know. And yeah, it just, I don't like that feeling, and you constantly want to be showering, but also the showers weren't very clean. So yeah, cleanliness, it wasn't that good. But aside from that, they had a really good like, they did a family dinner for €5, and it was vegan pesto pasta. Love that. And free sangria as well. And then, since it's a family dinner, all of the people staying at the hostel join, and then from there we go to a pub crawl. So we play drinking games, and then we go to a pub crawl, which was low-key whack at the beginning, because I guess in the beginning no one is really at the clubs or at the bars, so it didn't get popping until about 2 or 3 in the morning. But it was still fun, and you meet a lot of people. I met really cool people at that hostel, actually. Actually, it was the first time I met someone who was Mexican American in Europe, so that was cool. and we still keep in touch to this day, so yeah, that's really cool. And it was also centrally located, and they do a I think it was a canoe. Was it a canoe? A kayak, sorry. Boats? I don't know that. Okay, they do a kayaking tour, and you can, I think it was about €20. You go with everyone, they take you to the water, and you can get out of your kayak, and you go through the caves. So that was pretty cool. I didn't get to do it because me and my friend had something else booked, but that sounded like something I would love to do. So if I'm ever in Lagos, I will definitely do that. So yeah, I think Old Town Hostel was a pretty good hostel. Oh, I don't think I ever mentioned the name, but it's called Old Town Hostel in Lagos, Portugal. The worst hostel I've ever stayed at was in Rotterdam. So my first week in Rotterdam, I had to stay at a hostel, and I arrived during the summer. It was the last week of August, I believe. So I get there with all my luggage and stuff. It seemed nice. It seemed like whatever. It was actually the only hostel available when I booked my hostel, so I was like, okay, whatever, I have no choice, you know? And I check in. It's a mixed bedroom. Go into my room, and it just feels hot, really musty and stuff. I was like, whatever, oh well, it won't be too bad. And then as I was walking out, because I went on a walk, there was this weird dude, and he just kept staring at me. And I get really on edge when guys look at me. Like, I just don't like attention. So I was just like, why is he staring at me? And then I go back into my room, and he was the guy sleeping next to me, and I wanted to die because he just kept looking at me in a really weird way. So then I'm getting ready for bed, and it was my first night in Europe, so I was very jet lagged. and I was just texting my friends and stuff, and I start hearing buzzing noises. So I'm thinking, is there a fly in here? And I keep trying to look for it, but it's obviously dark, so I couldn't see anything. And then I just kept hearing the buzzing noise, and I finally fell asleep. And then in my sleep, I kept getting really itchy. So I was like, are these mosquitoes? And I was like, oh hell no, because I'm allergic to mosquitoes. So I just kept itching, and then I realized that they were mosquitoes and they were biting me. So I just put my sheets over me, and I was just trying to hide in there and fall asleep. And I'm texting my friend like, oh my god, Casey, there's mosquitoes in here. She was like, cover yourself. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. And then I fall asleep again. And then at one point I woke up because they were attacking me, literally. So I wake up and I open my eyes, and this eye felt weird. It felt like it didn't fully open. So I start thinking, am I swollen right now? So I take my phone and I flip the camera and I take a picture of myself with a flash. There's literally no phone in here, but I take the selfie and I look at it and I was like, you guys, so many mosquitoes had bit me. Like, so at first I thought it was just one, but after the swelling went down I could see the actual bug bites. But literally this eye was huge to the point where I couldn't fully open it. Like, I looked like this. and I was so sad. It was my first night in Europe. I was going to Italy the following week, so I was just like, I was supposed to be cute out here and I'm looking like shit. And so I get out of my room to go to the bathroom, and I saw my face, and it was just huge, you guys. It was huge. I'm literally gonna insert a video of it right now. Alright, update on my life. So at my hostel, there's like hail of mosquitoes, and I'm pretty sure I've always been allergic to them. Tell me why one decided to come at my freaking eye, and look at it. And it was worse. I'm dead. I go up to the receptionist and I was like, hey, do you guys sell bug spray? You have a lot of mosquitoes. And he goes, oh shit. I was like, oh, I was so mad. I was like, yeah, dude, you sell bug spray or not? And so he goes, yeah, I'm sorry, it's just summer, we're having a really bad summer and all this. I'm like, boy, why wouldn't you sell bug spray if you know that you guys have hella mosquitoes here? But alright. So he goes, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, yeah, me too. So then I just went back to sleep. I started crying, honestly, because I was already feeling homesick. I just didn't need that. So yeah, aside from that, the showers were also kind of gross. There was nowhere for you to put your clothes while you shower, so you're just hoping you don't get it wet. And there's no changing room either, so you're just hoping that no one walks in on you. And then, oh, the breakfast, so they had breakfast, but there were always flies on the food, so I was like, this isn't sanitary. What the heck? And what else about it? Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, they also charge you for your sheets and stuff. They were charging you for a lot of things that they shouldn't have, because that hostel was not cheap either. It was about $24 the night. I stayed there for 3 nights, so I wanted to die. And I finally got bug spray one night, and you could hear literally everyone like doing the freaking Macarena. So I was like, y'all need bug spray? Here you go, because yo, it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, if you're ever in Rotterdam, do not stay at that hostel. I actually stayed at the hostel, about 2 nights ago, something like that. That one was pretty good. It was pretty clean. And then I've also gone by King Kong Hostel. I didn't stay there, but it looks really nice. It's also a cafe and bar, and they have the hostel upstairs, and the cafe is really nice, so I'm assuming that the hostel is nice as well. So I would recommend those over Hostel Mafkhees. Again, it's going to be in the description box, but do not stay there, especially in the summer. I don't know what it's like in the winter, but the summer was not good, so don't do that to yourself. Aside from that, I have stayed at a few Airbnbs. I would always compare Airbnbs and hostels in expensive cities like Copenhagen, Stockholm, Helsinki, like the Scandinavian countries, and Paris too. always compare the Airbnb price with the hostel price, because sometimes it can be basically the same thing. And then also there is this app called Holswap, Holiday Swap. If you download it from the App Store, it's called Holiday Swap. And basically what you do is you post a room. You don't have to actually swap your room, but people can swap rooms for $1 a night, which is so cool. And there's rooms literally all over the world that you just swipe through it like Tinder, and you just like until you finally get a match. And then if you guys want to swap or host each other, so like the other day I got a message from a guy who was like, hey, my brother's gonna go to Amsterdam, can he stay in your room? And I was like, sorry dude, I'm staying at an Airbnb now, but if I was in Rotterdam, then he could have stayed in my room for $1 the night instead of staying at a hostel for about 20, which is pretty freaking good. So I would download that app. I didn't hear about it until just recently, so I haven't been able to use it because it does take some time to match with people. So start using it now so that you have matches and connections around the world for whenever you want to travel. Again, it's called Holiday Swap. And if you guys do end up swapping with someone, I have a discount code. It's DEA. So instead of paying the $1, you'll just stay for free, which is pretty cool. So I'll link all of that stuff in the description box. And I think that concludes today's video. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you have had any bad hostel experiences. Like, you guys saw my face, dude, that was so bad. And in my Venice video, it looks like I'm tired and have bad acne. It just looks bad. There's also a Venice vlog, so you can go look at that. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!